Hello, how y'all doing? This is Kendrick. If you haven't seen my intro yet, you can YouTube it or you can go to my Facebook page. It's Kendrick Green. This is my full name. Or you can catch it on Twitter, which is at LEJON89. Once again, it's at LEJON89. Check out my intro so you can get an understanding of what I'm actually about to do. Alright, I got a hit on my Facebook page asking me what do I think about what's going on in today's society amongst blacks. Well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take it back, do a little history, and see if I can, take a little bit of what went down in, back in the 1960s, 1950s with the civil rights movement, and, to see if I can pretty much put a little perspective on what happened between the civil rights movement towards what's going on today in 2012. Now, the civil rights movement started with a lady named Rosa Parks. If you don't know who Rosa Parks is, you can Google her. She pretty much defined civil rights. She pretty much began it. She was the first person to actually take a stand. But what she did was she refused to give a seat to a white person, which back in that particular time frame, black people were only allowed to sit at the back of the bus. And if there was no seats in the back of the bus, well, we still do it today. You have to stand up, but they can only be in the back. Now, Rosa Parks was arrested for refusing to give up her seat. And that's what started the unity of black people amongst that time. Because that's when you have boycotts. You have black people sticking together for one purpose, risking their lives for the single sole purpose of having rights to sit wherever they want to sit, eat wherever they want to eat, sleep wherever they want to sleep. And this one particular woman is the person that brought all of it together. Now, in today's society, you can sit wherever you want to sit on the bus. Front, back. If you want to stand, you can stand. But you have the right to sit wherever you want to sit, mainly because what she had done by taking that particular stand. Now, what do we do to repay her for taking that stand for us? First things first, we still sit in the back of the seat, sit in the back of the bus. We still do it. We're ignorant on the bus, loud, want to fight, smoke, people drink, act crazy. And where did it really go wrong? I'm going to explain a little bit later on why I think what went wrong. But it's to the point where we are just so disrespectful towards each other when it comes down to not only bus riding, when it comes down to standing next to each other, trying to have a conversation with each other. It just all boils down to the level of respect that we have for each other. As you see, back then, that united black people together where they had a high level of respect. Now, what happened? I'm pretty much explain that a little bit later, but we just need to get back on pace on being a unit. It's to the point where she fought to just sit on the bus, where now it's kind of dangerous to even ride the bus. We got shootings on buses. People getting killed on buses. And it's really crazy. Come on. What more can we show the appreciation that this lady did by disrespecting her in a way that is unprecedented? Now, Martin Luther King was the first person that came to Rosa Parks' aid. He was the catalyst of the civil rights movement, really pushed it forward, mainly preaching love thy brother and nonviolence, which in that particular society, where everything was going down, nonviolence would have been the last thing on my mind. And he did all of that to earn equality. And the messed up thing about it is people soon to forget that few years before that, I want to say probably a century before that, black people were considered, I might got a little bit wrong, we was considered 1/3 of a person. We didn't have any rights. We couldn't do anything. We couldn't even say anything. Or you was getting killed. They took it upon themselves, knowing that they might get killed, to do this for us, to pretty much make sure that we can have peace here in the future. Which right now, there really isn't a peace between each other now. Now it's a peace between white and black somewhat, because now it's a lot of interracial dating. You know a lot of black people have white friends, but the black versus black perspective is there is a huge tension now, where there is really no peace between each other. Now, if you look at it on paper, we are all equal, because we all have a considerable amount of rights. We can get education. We can go get jobs. We can do a lot of things that we couldn't do back in the 1940s, the 50s, the 60s. We can do a lot of things that we couldn't do, especially the right to vote. But what do we do that makes us unequal? What do? We don't take advantage. Black people, we can say we vote. We can say that all day, every day. But the statistics are, when you go to CNN, after every election, they break down the ethnic groups on what percentage are actually voting. And then they break down the age group. And if you look at when it says African American voting, it's pathetic. It's really pathetic. Now, we came together and we voted one time, and that was when we elected our first black president, Barack Obama. But what happened the second election? They stated only 10% of African Americans voted, which hurted our first black president more than it helped him by us electing him. Now, getting an education. Wow. That should be the easy part. But it's not. People don't even want to go to school now. When I was in high school, which I'm not too far removed, people used to smoke before school, drink before school, ditch classes, went to school late. What's the purpose? What's the purpose? And then on top of that, you just stop going. We can't call you a dropout, because in order for you to be a dropout, you literally have to go and declare yourself for dropping out. You're just a no-show. You know, we think that the teachers who are teaching don't know anything, where we could get by through life without learning what they're teaching, until you actually stop going to listen to what they got to say and go into the real world. And then you find out that 1 + 1 = 2, and it becomes real hard for you, because all the stuff that the teacher was teaching you, you didn't want to hear it, and you didn't want to listen. And you just decided that it was too hard, and you didn't want to finish. And we wonder why people over in third world countries are succeeding and surpassing us mentally, intelligently, and skillfully. Mainly, what's the name of your doctor? Who is that person running the store on your block? When you go into a Subway, who are majority of that? Who owns it? Dunkin' Donuts, who owns it? It's not an American. Not black. Now, we might have some blacks owning Subway, some might own Dunkin' Donuts. But when you go into one in your neighborhood, who owns it? Come on. It's crazy. It's no way that communities like the Roseland, the Pullman, and the West Pullman area that have several colleges, that has several high schools in the area, and the population is decreasing by 40%. Man, the people from the third world country come over and take advantages to be equal like us, and we look at them like they are intruders. Like they coming over here trying to take what's ours. And honestly, they're not coming over here to take what's ours. They're coming over here to earn what should be ours, which we are not taking advantage of. And who do I really blame? I blame the creation of crack cocaine. We can all sit here and say who made it, who distributed it. Yes, black people distribute it to each other, but we all know who created it, and you don't need me to say it. That is what killed the togetherness part of African Americans, because it destroyed homes, it destroyed families, it pretty much eliminated the father, because majority of the males were doing the crack cocaine more than some of the women that was doing. And it forced the mothers to work double shifts, long hours, which left the kids fending for themselves. Where you got the oldest being a parent instead of a young adult. Taking care, making sure the younger brothers and sisters got their homework, doing their hair, fixing them up, making sure they smell good, cooking for them, instead of doing the things that a normal teenager or a young adult would do. And that's why in today's society, we're starting to see a lot of babies having babies, because they feel that they're not only old enough, their mind are mature enough, because they've been put in a situation where they can take care of a child until they actually have one, and see that it's more to it than just making sure they're clean and making sure that they're well watched. It's physically raising. See, when you're watching your brother or your sister, you can leave them alone once mom get home. But when you got your own, it's yours. And that's where mama not only becomes grandma, but becomes mama all over again, because you wasn't physically prepared as you thought. And that's my personal opinion on why I feel that blacks are more separated now and the level of respect is down now, is because the creation of crack cocaine in America. Because of that addition, we just don't trust each other. And I don't see it happening anytime soon, because there are more drugs that are coming out, and there are more territorial things that everybody are trying to get out right now, and there's a big money market for it now. So the separation will always be that until drugs are gone, which is never going to be. And that's my show for today.